Well, it says we're live, but I really don't know. Do you hear me, Kev? Yeah, so
there we are.
So it says
we're having a lag.
We have a major lag. We have the world's worst lag.
All right. So you could. Well,
hi kids. It's just gonna be the Kevin show. Watch.
You can't see me.
Wow.
Can you guys hear us?
Can anyone hear us? I took myself out of it.
Oh boy.
No.
They said they can hear typing.
That's you.
That's all. Loud typing. Matt, you look serious. No.
Oh no.
Just kept. Oh, I just heard you.
Oh boy. Just Kevin's typing.
That was you. Can anybody hear Kevin now? I heard an echo for Matt.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
This is going great.
Matt's voice comes through.
Oh. That doesn't make any sense.
Oh boy. Should we turn off the video?
Yeah, turn off your video and I'll see if I can do this differently.
All right.
Are you there?
Oh boy, this is bad.
What's wrong?
Well, everything is lagging. I'm just hearing echoes and.
Oh boy. Well, you know.
Honestly, I. Oh, it's not. Nicole, it's not funny if we're trying to do a show. Oh no, this is so bad.
This is really bad. Who's in charge of this? Me?
I'm gonna try to get on a different Wi-Fi.
I don't think it's the Wi-Fi. Oh no. Excuse me. Okay, well, this is going really well, guys. This is going great. Is everyone doing okay? How's everybody doing? How's Kevin? Kevin, do you hear me? Okay.
I'm going to turn off.
Yeah. This is really weird. Oh, YouTube has a major lag. Hello. All right. How's everybody doing? Hey, seriously, can anybody hear me right now? Kevin is a twofer. Matt's mic is doubled. Hi, guys. Hi, Kev.
Hi, Matt.
I think we're still I think we're still broadcasting live.
I think we are too, and I think I don't have an echo anymore.
Well, were you recording through 2 microphones?
No, I had my YouTube volume up.
Oh, Kevin.
and Jeff texted me. He's like, "Turn your YouTube volume down, you idiot."
Oh, great.
Hopefully, is your YouTube
No.
audio up?
No, it's not, Kevin. It is not. It's not.
Kevin is no longer echoing, just reverb. Matt is crystal clear. Thanks, everyone.
I sound great.
That's great.
Well, Hey, look, it's Turkey Leg Jeff. So now that everyone could see or hear me, yes,
Kevin, we can't really hear you very well.
Dial-up was a bad choice for this.
Can you hear me now? Is your system running with a built-in mic as well as your recording mic?
No, you're lagged. So that's what's...
I'm lagged?
Yeah, so like they're hearing what you just fixed.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Someone said to call Mike Rallman. I will not be calling Mike Rallman. We don't consult St. Louis for anything around here. Okay, well, Kevin is gone. That means people are coming back, and they're not hearing you because you hung up and you called me back. So,
I see. So the chat is on lag.
Chat is way lagged. Yeah, so you're reading things that happened like 3 minutes
ago.
ago.
I see. So I shouldn't do anything. All right.
Yeah, you don't really need to do anything. So we're just gonna chat here. If anybody hears this, that would be great. Some people are already blasted on rum, just from the opening segment there, I think, which is great.
I really honestly think that everyone was listening to us and they were like, I think it's time to start drinking. And then they did.
Yeah, they did. They were like, oh boy, we better start.
You're not hearing you because you hung up and you called me back. So.
Oh, why are you listening to yourself again?
I got it.
You gotta stop doing that. You're like, you know what you are? You're the guy who calls the talk radio show with like your radio on, and they're like, turn your radio down, bro.
And I'm like, what? Can you play a Little Bitty Pretty One, please?
Someone said they feel awkward. I'm sorry.
I don't feel awkward. Don't ever feel awkward.
Please don't feel awkward.
This is good.
Sounds like people can hear us without problems.
Now you guys are both clear. Kevin sounds fine now.
Yeah.
This is great.
So can they, on the YouTube, I assume they can just see the Trader Sam's logo, which is fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Audio is good now, says Turkey Leg Jeff. And you're both echo free.
So
okay,
I'm thinking that the video was because of the dial-up that we were using. I think the video was causing us problems. So, but I'm feeling really good about this now. It sounds like people can hear us. I'm excited about it. I'm getting Are you getting 500 text messages, Kevin?
Yeah. And here's the thing: is that I'm actually chatting on my phone. I turned the sound down on my phone too, eventually, so I can now see the chat live on my phone, even though it's lagged on the YouTube. So gobble gobble, boys, says Turkey Leg Jeff.
Do you, let's see. Do you have headphones on? I hear your sound is not as good, but
my headphones are on. Let me take a look at my sounds here. Hold on.
I'm excited. This is more of a you issue than a me issue. That's really the.
Well, here's the thing: is I thought it was a you issue only, and I was like smug about it.
I know you were.
I
know you were. I heard it in your voice. I was like, Kevin,
I was like, I'm doing just fine over here. I don't know what you guys' problem is.
After doing live radio for so many years, like, I know. Normally I'm like really wound pretty tight, but for whatever reason, like broadcast stuff doesn't bother me, like when it gets all messed up, because I'm so used to it.
Oh, okay. Wait, is that better? Does that sound better?
It might.
No, that sounds much worse.
Yeah. Someone said that you sound like a Tomorrowland robot, which is that's always a good thing. This is really.
Okay, there we go.
Really bad. Yeah. Are you on the right mic now?
I was on the right mic, and I switched off, and now I'm back. So I don't know.
Now
what's
you
going
sound
on
different. You sound better.
Here. Do I sound better? This
Yes.
is so great.
You sound way better now. You sound soothing, like you should be reading bedtime stories.
David Allen Boucher.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, I'm going to pull up the notes.
Baby weeps.
I'm going to pull up the notes.
We have notes, friends.
I want to apologize for the 25 minutes of
the super duper delay.
Yeah. And here's the thing, you'll never know about, you'll never really know how it's delaying or what the problem is until you start the show. That's the bad part about this whole. I mean, I know you can preview it and like run through all the troubleshooting, but no. We were never really going to know.
It's all going to be
It's not really.
It was always going to be a little bit like this.
I know. That's what I was saying. That's why we were supposed to be drinking. That was what.
Well, I'm drinking balls. BAWLS.
Yes.
Yes. I sound like a transformer. Audio on Kevin is C-. This is
I don't know why. Maybe it'll catch up.
It'll catch up. I'm trying really hard to make my volumes. And we have the same microphone, and I have a brand new computer, so I don't know what.
Yeah, people are hearing. There's almost a minute lag on the chat. Did you know that?
Oh, on the chat.
Oh yeah, there's almost a minute lag.
Oh.
Yeah, so you're getting notes from things that happened like weeks ago.
So I'm trying to fix things that like were a problem in November.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Well, I just want to let people know that we are powering through this. I had the COVID vaccine yesterday, so I've been ill for like 24 hours. But we're doing it. We're here, and I'm excited, and Kevin's excited. So let's start the show. People want to hear the show.
Oh my gosh, the show, friends. So we actually have a real topic. I was trying to like tie it into live shows, but it wasn't working. We were trying to come up with ideas, but we've been wanting to do this type of show for a very long time, and I'm super excited about this. So I think we're going to just do the show, and hopefully everybody here will enjoy it.
Yes, I think so too. So let's do this as if we were doing a show, and I'm actually going to open up my Audition, Kev, and record this show so that we can put it out in the feed.
Maybe I'll do this too.
Yeah, I think you should do that too. So whatever people heard through YouTube won't be a fair representation of what we've done here.
Yeah, I actually honestly don't know why I sound like Optimus Prime.
Robots in disguise. Oh, you sound.
Robots.
Someone said you're approaching Darth Vader-ness, which apparently is a thing. Oh, Kevin.
This is so bad.
Oh, Kevin.
I'm not trying to do it like that. All right.
You did this. You know, it's funny. This is not any different than anything. I mean, this is way different than what the setup is the same as what we normally do, but I think it's all this extra stuff that's happening. So we haven't lost any viewers. We have 62, 63 people are coming and going, which is great.
We're getting more viewers, which is kind of amazing.
No one has. Most of these people have never met us. And so that's really funny that we're all hanging out here like we're neighbors. I think that's right. I have more friends in this chat than I have like in life.
Most people. I'm just happy in this. Like I'm seeing people that I see on Twitter and I see on Facebook, and it's really exciting to see these people like quote unquote real life. You know what I'm saying?
I thought they were all bots, so this is exciting.
All right. Someone said I just got more reverberating again. Are you hearing a reverb, Matt? Matt? Oh no. This is so weird. Okay. Folks, I actually can't hear Matt anymore. This is weird. Matt, you need to mute your computer, Matt. Oh. So this happened on the show, actually. We're recording it. Matt sometimes gets the sound from my computer onto his computer. And he is able to edit that out. But there's Matt. Where?
What happened? Are you there?
I don't know, but it says, Matt, you sound fine. Kev sounds like he's dying.
I don't know how to fix you. I wish I knew how to quit you, Kev.
I turned off my... What happened was when you and I turned on Audition.
Yeah, it got really dumb.
It got really dumb because it was echoing on your computer. Your computer is...
I think it defaulted to the computer mic when I flipped on Audition.
Oh, okay. Did you just turn that off? Am I better now?
I had to kill the Audition totally. So we're just gonna do the show and then we can record it. If we want to re-record the show later, we can.
Yeah, we can.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Here we go, Kevin. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the 3028, a show about Disney history and live listory. I'm Matt Parrish.
And I'm Kevin.
And Kevin, we thought we would get together 2 days before Christmas. My wife is very excited about this. I just want you to know. Where are you going? What are you doing? Did you think you could tell us? I said, well, you saw the promo ad, right?
Yeah, my husband is very happy that I'm actually here. He's like, I get a break from Christmas. So it's good now. It's all good.
It is good. It's going good. I'm sorry you sound like Darth Vader. Maybe we'll come back maybe this weekend and just re-record this show and just make it really fun.
I think we could.
Yeah, I mean, we've had shows that didn't record when we wanted them to, so we had to go re-record the whole thing. I'm trying to think of one off the top of my head, but we've had some twofers.
We accidentally just completely deleted one show once, and we're like, okay.
Oh, boy. Oh, jeez.
Oh, wow.
One time, I downloaded some new recording equipment, and it just totally, didn't record it at all. That has happened with you. That's happened with my friend Wesley. That's happened with Nate. I think that's just, occupational hazard when you do this kind of thing. So, anyway, we are here. It is Christmas week. Kungaloosh, Kev.
Kungaloosh.
We are the Tiki Dads, and before we start the show, I got to tell you, a friend of mine at work was like, what do you mean what are you talking about, Tiki Dads? What is this whole dads thing you guys keep talking about? And I'm like, I don't really know how do I qualify what the dads thing is?
I didn't. Okay, so yeah, I got a couple questions about that too, because they're like, okay, well, Matt's a biological dad, and then I am sort of like, your average weekend dad.
What does that mean? What does that mean? Like hardware store dad?
Yeah, I kind of look like a yacht dad. Like I would have a hat on.
Yes.
And I would one of those trilby hats, and I'd be on a yacht, and I'd be listening to the Eagles or Seals and Crofts, all that stuff.
Dancing Queen. So I don't know. Oh yeah, copyrights. So I don't know where the dad thing comes from, but we're definitely dads. So, like a couple of good dads, we wanted to get together in the garage here just before the holiday, pop a few tops, and talk about Disney history, like real dads would.
Yeah, I mean, dads just hanging out, maybe riding their backyard trains around, and just
shirts off,
having a steam up, shirts off, and just talking about Disney history like dads do.
Giant cigars. Why wouldn't we? Okay, so Kevin, this is not the dad's show per se, but it is something that dads can see when they're at Disney.
So
very great, great segue, man.
Perfect tie-in here. And someone made a suggestion. This is something we have talked about for about 4 years doing, because both of us are kind of obsessed with this topic. But we decided we were either going to give people the opportunity to choose a list for us, or we would just create our own. And for the sake of time, since we already wasted everyone's time, we decided we're just going to press on with the Stairs to Nowhere show, Kev.
We're on the stairs to nowhere. Come take a ride.
I don't know that song. However, if you walk about Disney theme parks, and it really what's crazy is, here's the deal. Nobody, I don't know if this is something, like this is, and I say this a lot, but like this is stuff that doesn't show up on like park maps. This is something that like experienced Disney goers like notice and then begin to notice more and more and more. It's like when you learn a new word and then all of a sudden you hear it everywhere. That's what Stairs to Nowhere are like.
I liken it to when I was reading the Harry Potter books, and before all the controversies and stuff, and J.K. Rowling would learn a new word, and then it would pop up in the book over and over and over again. It was great.
It's like when you said verisimilitude on this show in year one about 42 times, and then I would say it in real life, and people were like, "Why does he keep saying that?"
Or writ small, or writ large.
I think I said writ large and writ small like 4 times in the last show. But anyway, Stairs to Nowhere are like that because you can find them all over Disney theme parks. We have an awesome list. This is because this is a show that's going to go a little faster. We're probably not going to go 6 minutes into number 14 like we normally would. Instead, we're going to consolidate a little bit our discussion, but still go through our full list because we got some really good ones.
Oh yeah, these are going to be great. So Matt, I actually don't know. So it's a 14-part list.
Oh my god!
It sounds daunting.
This is going to last through Christmas.
We're going to be on here at Christmas Day. This is your Christmas gift. Okay, so number 14. Matt picked this one. It's the Fire Station number 9, Fire Escape Stairs. I don't know where this is.
Yeah, so these were the ones that you could find back in... a couple of these are from the New York Street area. So they're not ones that you can experience today. But to make New York Street not seem like it was just a bunch of, stand-up placards and, flat screens, they added a lot of details that would give the New York Street dimension. And so when you're walking around there, you might see we saw things like fire hydrants and that sort of stuff. But as you looked up, you could see things like escape stairs, or like stairs that would go from one apartment to another. So that's exactly what this was. So if you think about old buildings, not all of them had, if they had an elevator, maybe it was one of those old mechanical ones, right, where you pull the thing down and you have to crank it or whatever. And maybe they had a stairwell on the inside. But if that was, if you're the way that your egress was obstructed by smoke, you might have to go out the window, Kev. And so if you go from one floor to the next, it's very Home Alone 2. If I think I'm thinking about this accurately, to go from one floor to I always think of Turkey Lake Jeff when I think of any New York street thing.
Yeah, and so do I actually now. Every time I read a book about New York, I'm like, I wonder if Jeff's been there.
Right. Has Jeff been to the Guggenheim? Yeah, he generally has been there. So that's a good one. So a lot of these gave different areas dimension, and that's also true. We talk about this a lot on the show. Areas that, Imagineers want to help you understand, feel sort of lived in. Even if you can't experience these areas, they sort of augment your experience.
Yeah, they make you feel like there are things happening, up, down, all around, that you're just not seeing. They're just out of sight. So you see these fire escapes. You're like, your brain automatically says, well, there's people in there to use these fire escapes if necessary. And so, your head already thinks that. And so, yeah, it makes it feel, it gives it verisimilitude, actually.
It does. It definitely does that. And it gives it dimension. Yeah, so it feels real when you're there. It feels like when you leave, things are happening on the stairwell. So anyway, number 14, Fire Station number 9, the Fire Escape Stairs at Disney MGM Studios, Disney Hollywood Studios. Of course, that all goes away when Batu comes online. Now, Kevin, I have to tell you, number 13 on our list is one that I've only seen one picture of, and the picture was during the construction of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. So I'm actually not sure if this is an actual real staircase that is being used by cast members, or if it's one that is supposed to provide the verisimilitude of an area in Batuu where stairwells might exist in rock. And so there is one place in Batuu at Disneyland where you have a set of stairs protruding against the side of a building.
Oh, yeah. Do you know what building it is? I've been to Batuu on both coasts.
Right.
Not to brag, but I was there opening day for both coasts.
I've been to Batuu. No, I don't. And in fact, when I went through to get a sense of what building you're in, I mean, other than Savi's workshop and the droid factory and all this other stuff, I don't know if there's always a name for a building.
Yeah, it might not. I mean, because everything is sort of built out of the stonework around there, or just of stucco or whatever. They don't necessarily have building names, so I don't really know what this is. Maybe it was meant to, the land was originally supposed to be a little bigger, a little bit more complex, and so maybe this was part of it, and then they sort of just hid it behind some other rocks.
Yeah,
that's why we haven't seen it.
It's really weird. So if you think about Tatooine Traders at Disney's Hollywood Studios, which is basically the shop at the end of Star Tours Adventure Continues. So you think about the stonework that's on there. It's almost like beige or sand colored. That's what these stairs look like.
Yeah, exactly. And so you got to wonder what's up there. What are there Jawas up there? Well, it's not really Tatooine, it's Batuu. Batooine?
I'm actually looking for a picture to put in the YouTube. And again, I only saw this once. So, there it is. Stairs seen at Disneyland's Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. All right, I'm going to find that. I should have done this in advance, but this is live radio, Kev.
Live radio. I haven't done a live show in a very long time.
It's been 2.5 years now since I think I've done one on someone else's show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Well, I get around, Kev. When you don't know, I don't
driving up and down those same old streets.
Yeah, exactly. I am a beach boy. So there's that. So let's keep going on the list. And Star Wars Galaxy's Edge rock stairs, not one that you can really experience much. But number 12, I used to take pictures of myself on this street quite a bit, but there was so New York Street, the original New York Street, on the backlot tram tour of the backlot tour at Disney MGM Studios, had a street that was perpendicular to New York Street. And some people said, this is like Chicago Street, and there's one that looked like Chicago, and then there's one that looked like New York. But the one that was perpendicular to the main drag there had a number of these different New York apartments with New York apartment stairs that walked up to the front of the apartment. And to me, this always looked like something out of Sesame Street.
So this is the area when there was the Osborne lights. And drink a sip of your Kungaloosh for the Osborne lights. But this is where you could see the baby from Dinosaurs in the window.
Baby Weems?
Was it Baby Weems? It could have been.
It was not Baby Weems.
It was not Baby Weems. What was the baby's name in Dinosaurs?
Dinosaurs, the TV show?
Yeah, I think it's Baby Herman.
Baby Herman was the baby from Roger Rabbit. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? He was like the man baby.
It's Baby Sinclair. Wow.
That sounds weird.
We're talking a lot about DHS on this show.
There is a ton of DHS on this show because
a lot of it is very similar, very next to each other too, which is kind of funny. So you can see Baby Sinclair in the window, and he's like, not the baby, or I'm the baby.
Oh.
It's my baby Sinclair voice there.
Is that what that was?
That was.
You never had a baby, did you? Babies never sound like that. They never sound like that. I'm just now getting the Star Wars stares up in me. I need a producer, Kevin.
I would have been your producer, but I'm also on the show.
You've been ruining the show. The sound.
What I do is I just ruin these shows. It's my whole thing.
It's your shtick. It's your stick.
So let's keep going on, Matt, because this is interesting. I didn't actually think of this, and we're gonna head on over to Epcot, and we're going into Journey into Imagination. And Matt, I don't know if this was part of the original ride or if it's just part of the ride as it is now.
I think it was not part of the original ride. So this is one of the like neon-y things that they threw in when they told you didn't have an imagination. When they did Journey into Your Imagination, which you didn't have one, you went through several areas with Figment, and this always seems so weird to me. There's that part where like Figment's on the ceiling, and they're like, oh, you know, in your imagination, things are upside down, and Figment's walking, and like there's like a kitchen upside down, which makes no sense. And there's stairs up there too.
Yeah, there's stairs that go to nowhere, but nothing in this room makes sense because upside down doesn't make sense. Wait a minute, it totally does. It's so weird. There are these like they're just like writing on this some graffiti on some black painted walls and the black light is lit, and it's so, I don't know, it just seems like Figment deserves better.
Figment, okay, the Dreamfinder deserved better. I think ultimately, at least Figment got to stay around. But yeah,
wear a kicky cool Christmas sweater, which is awesome.
Yeah, Figment has gotten some good treatment through the years, but yeah, he's anyway, if you go through that attraction, and it is kind of a shell of its former self, it certainly, I don't know if it's kind of, it like really pretty much is, and you get to experience, you know, different parts of, I don't even know what this attraction is anymore. If someone asked me, I wouldn't even be able to explain it.
I'm trying, like whenever I try to say it, and then Eric Idle's face becomes the moon, and it weirdly shifts and moves.
Yeah.
And they're like, don't tell me anymore. It's hurting me.
Please. And Eric Idle's so great. And like,
he's great in so many other things.
You know what stinks is like the whole Imagination Institute thing was not a bad concept to like tie Honey, I Shrunk the Audience to Journey into Imagination and the laminar flow leapfrog fountains and the upside down waterfall. Like all that stuff worked, but except for Journey into Your Imagination, and then when they redid it with starring Figment, it really just fell apart. 20 years. We've had that for 20 years now.
Matt, why do we keep going on this ride? You don't like it. Oh, look. Now I'm seeing them back stairs.
Yeah, there they are. So they're in the YouTube now, so you can see.
You check that out.
Yeah, I don't know. Do those look like they're being used? I don't think so.
No.
Those are stairs to nowhere, dude.
Laura, it is not in the skunk room. It is later on after Eric Idle decides that he does have an imagination and you can have fun and whimsy with it. And Figment's like, imagination is just turning your thinking upside down. So it's later on. It's very weird. All right, so Matt, would I be wrong in saying that we could group the next couple ones together?
Yeah, they were actually designed to be grouped.
All right, so number 10 and number 9, now we're in the top 10. The New York Hotel on New York Street and the 18th Street station stairs on the streets of America. Now, I love those station stairs, Matt.
Yes.
When we originally made the list, I was like, wait a minute, I know one that goes down to nowhere as opposed to up to nowhere. And this is awesome. This is so silly. I loved walking down these stairs and just standing there and pretending I was in the New York subway.
It sounds so weird for me to like talk to somebody from Boston or like the East Coast where they actually have subways, and that you get excited about this just as much as I do, because we don't have subways.
Oh yeah, we have subways, but I don't know why. It's like every time I'm in New York visiting Turkey Lake Jeff or any of my other friends, I like everything is like, it's not necessarily all dirty. It's not like the the 70s or whatever, Taxi Driver. But like it's always so crowded or whatever. So here I get to walk down there. I'm like, hey, look at me. And I used to take a picture of myself like from far away, just like coming up out of the subway. That's where I would watch Blood, Sweat, and Tears. It was great.
It was a thing. I think I have a picture of that one too. I'll put it in here. But they were there. Yeah, there they are. And you'll probably see them here on the lag in YouTube in just a minute. But they were about a set of like 10 stairs, and they really tried to make this whole. And actually, the New York hotel is in the background of this too, so you can actually see both two stairs in one. Kev, in this picture, and this I really loved it back. There wasn't a whole lot to do before Osborne Lights, but like. You know what's cool about Disney? Like, it's the same thing that makes Liberty Square awesome, where you can just, like, sit there by the Liberty Tree, or you can, like, sit in the rocking chairs, or whatever, and just enjoy the ambiance. And that's really what you could do on New York Street.
Yeah, the difference is that Liberty Square was, had a lot of forethought and Imagineering put into it, and New York Street and Streets of America, a lot of it didn't seem like an afterthought. I mean, people did put a lot of effort into making it look like a New York street. Just the flats always seem to make it feel a little cartoony over there.
Yes.
Yeah, that was hard. So,
it was designed to be part of the attraction, though. So, like...
Yeah.
So that's
so like you could look at flats like far off. It'd be like the Wizard of Oz, when it's like there's a sound stage and then there's like a painted matte painting in the background.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was like. So yeah, it's I miss it. Not not to the point where I'm like I won't go back because it's not there or something like that. But it's it's just one of many things that was there for the majority of my life that I think back on. I'm like, oh, that was kind of fun, but like probably didn't appreciate it when I was 12, but might appreciate it more now.
I talked to a friend recently who said he went to Epcot when he was 19 and didn't like anything there, and now he's like mad at himself.
I know.
So I get it. But man, the next two, 8 and 7, also can be sort of grouped together, but they are a little bit different. So we're talking about the Skyway Station stairs, the Tomorrowland Skyway Station, and the Fantasyland Swiss Chalet. Now, the Skyway Station stairs led to a waterfall. After the sky was taken out, the stairs sort of lead up to a waterfall, and so you could sort of be like, "Oh, what's going on in the waterfall back there? Is there like a Zelda fairy back there that's going to restore my health?"
Circle a bunch of hearts around you and fill up your heart so you can go fight Ganon or whatever the boss is for level 8. Kevin. I remember loading on the Tomorrowland Skyway Station, and the stairs were there. I think the Skyway closed around 97 or 98 at the Walt Disney World property. So for about 11 or 12 years, these stairs just sat there. Stairs to nowhere. Stairs to a defunct attraction. This is not one of our verisimilitude-esque set of stairways. It wasn't supposed to make Tomorrowland feel lived in. It was really kind of an afterthought in the sense that Disney didn't know what they were going to do with this area. So for many, many years, it just sat there kind of vacant.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the ones that we're talking about are intentional. Most of them are intentional. But these were just like, there was an attraction there, these stairs led up to the attraction, then the attraction went away and the stairs remained. It's a little creepy if you think about it. But on the Tomorrowland side, at least there's a pretty waterfall over there you can look at. On the Fantasyland Swiss Chalet side,
oh my God,
the stairs just go up. And then there's nothing.
We have to talk. I got to put this. I got the picture because this looks like it almost looks scary. Like it's a neighbor's house that they like let go after the old lady died, and like their kids inherited it, and like nobody's doing anything with it. So you just have the Swiss Chalet just like sitting there. This is pre-tangled toilets, and It's just sitting there, and you can see the stairs to nowhere.
It's like the poltergeist house that sort of eats itself at the end, and it's not there, but the foundation's still there, but the stairs lead up to nothing. It's so creepy.
It is terrifying, actually, for a while. And what's crazy is, like, that Swiss chalet was awesome. Like, we talk about alpinism and, like, Swiss Land, and we just did that show on the Matterhorn Star. And I love all that stuff. It's very ornate. They don't build things like that anymore. In fact, Disney doesn't build things so much like that anymore. I think Edelweiss Snacks is the last sort of structure that they built like this to sort of fit into that Swiss concept. So this has been gone for a long time, but it's really cool. Hopefully it's up in the YouTube where you can see it. But the original Swiss Chalet where you got on the Skyway was awesome.
I will say that they did build like a fast pass area over there, and they did make it all Swiss themed, and they actually like talk about some things from Switzerland over there in some of the new signage. It was really, really. It kind of reminded me in a weird way of the Grizzly Peak Airfield and like that sort of signage, but in Switzerland. So it was really kind of neat for a while. And I love it over there. But yeah, I'm glad. that they... Oh, wait, I'm thinking Matthew.
Yes?
Matthew Parrish. I'm thinking of Disneyland, not Disney World.
Oh! Well, they both went defunct.
They did, but they both went defunct when they both had sad stairs.
Yeah.
Oh, so depressing.
Yes, they did. They both had sad stairs. So there's that. And, I'm glad that they finally did something with this space. But, Disney... Fantasyland, think about this, like Fantasyland had the Fantasyland courtyard, like the King's Courtyard. And so you had all the attractions, you had, Mickey Mouse Revue, and you had It's a Small World, and you had, 20,000 Leagues. It didn't have any kind of elevation except here. So that was really neat.
Yeah, I miss stuff like that. You would be able to go up, and there would be the only real elevation now is a sort of slope up from Liberty Square into Fantasyland, and I liked there it is. Oh my God, Matt!
What's that?
The Swiss Chalet just sort of popped up. It looks terrifying.
Yeah, it does.
I'm just in awe of it. It looks like the bones of the house itself will howl.
That's what I'm saying. This should have been on our Architecture of Horror show.
It should have been. Oh my gosh, we're going to talk about this at some point. Someone said it looks like the Psycho house.
It does. Why is it so terrifying up there?
It used to be so whimsical.
It was. Yeah, but look at the lampposts and stuff, and you can see the ornate architecture on the building, on the chalet, and it's got that whole Tudor style trim board thing happening, and the curvature of the lampposts is really neat, and look, the conifers are there. That's a really special area.
It's a really special area, and I almost wish that they had destroyed it entirely. If there's one thing I can say about Horizons going away, is that they basically pulled that Band-Aid off.
Yeah.
So we didn't have to watch a haunted house.
Right. Okay, Kevin, we're going to keep this going. Some of my favorites are now here. We're at number 6, and we've gone through the defunct attraction stairways, and now we're really getting into the ones that you can enjoy today, and I love these. So as you walk around Disney theme parks, like Kevin said, you get a sense of authenticity in different lands and different areas. And one of the first spaces that you walk into when you go to Disney Hollywood Studios is what, I don't know if we dubbed it this or if it's been dubbed this, but it's the Tinsel Town Square. It's not Hollywood Boulevard. It is the square there where you can find Sid Cahuenga's and the gas station, the dark room on the corner, and Mickey's of Hollywood on the other corner. But there is a set of bathrooms on the side where the dark room is, right next to the gas station, where you can find another set of stairs to nowhere.
Yeah, and so this is the cool thing, and we're go back to this concept a little bit later on. But this is where I envision like private eyes living.
Yes.
In their L.A. or San Francisco bungalows in the 40s, and they're just like thinking about their cases, and they're like, "Oh, the Dane walked into my office, and I wasn't expecting it."
Can we say Dane?
Can we? I don't know if we can say Dane.
We can't.
We could say Dame Judi Dench. Dame Judi Dench walked into my office, and I wasn't expecting her. There we go. That worked.
Thank you.
So the Hollywood Boulevard. Look at that. It's that there's like a house up there. There's apartments up there,
right?
And it's all the 40s. It's all that stucco. I love the look of this, like sort of Art Deco feel. It's so clean and so California.
The whole stucco look and stone, and the other thing that Disney does really well is they don't just, I think about theme parks sometimes when they do this and they're like, oh, you're in Africa, or you're in Asia, and they give you the side of a building and it's got something that's supposed to be emblematic of where you're supposed to be. But what Disney does, and what they did, beautifully, I think, in the Tinsel Town Square and Hollywood Boulevard, is they used all this tile work and stucco work and arched ways, and even the bathrooms are themed well, and the light fixtures. But the thing I notice about this when I see it is the potted plants. That's another thing that like makes this place feel lived in. Oh no, where'd you go?
I'm here.
Okay.
I hit mute.
Oh, great. Thank you so much. I'm like, don't hit mute on a live show, because then I think I'm by myself.
You're not by yourself. But that's the thing, is that there are definitely, this is that feel where, you can sometimes hear voices up there, but you can always imagine that there are people up there taking care of these plants. They're stepping out on their balcony, looking up over the gas station, looking at Sid Quangus and like watering those plants. I just love looking at this. Somebody in the chat said these were the worst bathrooms.
Oh,
and
I don't know. Really?
I think the breezeway between Frontierland and Adventureland, we decided is the worst bathroom ever.
Those are absolutely the worst bathrooms. Like, it smells like a diaper from the 1970s. Cloth diaper, Kev.
Cloth diaper, and it's leaking, and everybody's sad. It sounds like sadness. It smells like sadness. That's what I've heard a rumor that they're going to replace the skunk smell in the Figment ride with that smell.
Ew. They've bottled it. They captured it. Oh, that's so gross. Anyway, so this is just one of those themed areas of all the lands, the Hollywood that never was and always will be, like, this whole thing, like, what is the identity of Disney's Hollywood Studios? Thank God, in the same way that, like, California Adventure has Buena Vista Street now, that they still have Hollywood Boulevard and they still have something like the Tinsel Town Square, because these things work on so many, like, emotional levels that I'm just so glad I get to, experience these when we go to Disney.
So let's move on, because we've only currently had one inside ride,
right,
Stairs to Nowhere, and we're getting to the next one. Now, we're in the top 5 now, folks.
Whoa.
And, yeah, right? This is top 5 live. And, this is a fairly recent addition. This happened to the Haunted Mansion after I started going in 2007. So you used to go through the Haunted Mansion, and it'd be like spooky and creepy and kind of fun, and then there were some spiders that fell.
Yeah.
It wasn't scary at all.
Spiders.
Not interesting in any way.
The glowing spiders.
Glowing spiders. The worst part of the Haunted Mansion, because it felt like a space shuttle. But now there are Escher stairs.
I love these so much. When they said that they were going to redo or refurb Haunted Mansion, I was like, oh no, this is not going to go great. Because remember, we were coming off like Journey into Your Imagination and The Seas with Nemo and Friends, which is not terrible. I mean, it does some things well, but some things it lacks. And I was like, oh no, what is this going to be? Is Eddie Murphy going to be in there? Probably.
Was of course, yes. He's part of the ride now. No, but I heard they were going to do this, and I wasn't as attached to the Haunted Mansion as most people.
Oh.
I had only written it once or twice, and then it went down for a refurb. So I was like, I wonder what they're going to do. And I came back, and these Escher stairs where they're glowing, and you could see the footprints walking up, like, there's a ghost walking on these stairs, and so you could see the footprints sort of echo, like walking through snow or whatever. And
it's like The Shining.
It's totally like The Shining.
Even though you don't like the movie, but yeah, it has this.
I recognize the iconography of the movie.
Good. Oh, wow. This is okay. Marking this down.
You heard it here first.
Marking it down. Kevin's getting on board.
I am not getting on board. I saw The Shining, the movie, before you were born, young man.
Oh my God! You just threw that one at me.
Matt's like 2 years younger than me.
Okay.
So yeah,
Escher Stairs.
Okay.
All right. So
Stairs.
When we first started recording podcasts over on Wedway Radio, like that's when they were first starting to do this, and I thought for many years. So I'm not as versed, or at least I wasn't at the time, on these kind of staircases. So like I didn't realize that there was like some famous art that sort of informed these. I had always known, though, as a kid, because I watched a lot of Biography and Dateline and this stuff about, and Unsolved Mysteries was my favorite show as a kid, about the Winchester Stairs to Nowhere. So I thought initially when I saw this, I was like, oh, it's the Winchester thing. But no, if you like dig up Google Escher staircases, like they are surreal. They're unbelievable. It's so cool.
Yeah, M.C. Escher was a surrealist artist, and this just captures it. And if I ever saw those stairs in a picture, I'm like, they could never do something like this in real life. And they did it, and they did it here. And what's weird about this is that it doesn't feel out of place at all. It's a brand new addition. It doesn't actually work with a lot of the logic of Magic Kingdom or Haunted Mansion, but it feels seamless when you're on it. It's so exciting.
This is one of the major pluses, I think, of the last 10 years of upgrades. Obviously we can, and because it's a small thing, they did Hatbox Ghost over at Disneyland, which is an awesome plus, but this is something that they didn't have to do this. We were on this attraction for 40 years without this update. This is just such a plus up.
Yeah, they're we've had this. Everyone loves the spiders, right? And then one hand goes up in the back, and then Imagineer, and she's like, no. And they're like, oh, tell me, Karen, what is wrong with the spiders? And she's like, they suck. And they're like, oh, all right, Escher Stairs, and it worked. That is exactly how it went.
Yes.
You could watch that on Disney Plus. You could see that entire reenactment that I just made up. Matt,
yes.
Let's move on to number 4 because
I'm pulling this up right now to put it in the YouTube.
So when I went to Hollywood Studios for the first time, I'm walking around, I'm loving everything, I'm thinking this is great, and then I look to my left, and I'm getting into the Echo Lake area, and I'm like, Eddie Valiant. Wait a minute. I know that name. I know Eddie Valiant. Wait a minute. That's from Roger Rabbit. And then I look up, and the stairs go up to the Eddie Valiant's office in one area, and then you can look up even further and see these Venetian blinds with Roger Rabbit's figure cut out of it, and it says Valiant Detective Services, and that was one of the first moments where I was like, oh, this is very rich and very deep. I did not expect something kind of this thought out.
Yeah, and I think, I mentioned Tinseltown Square and Hollywood Boulevard being this, just fantastic, almost foundation of Disney Hollywood Studios. The same thing could be said about Echo Lake. That whole area just works, and a lot of the, some of the attractions have gone away or come and gone through the years. Now we have a Frozen sing-along over there, and for years we had Superstar TV, and they couldn't figure out really what they wanted to do with it. The American Idol experience, don't forget about that, Kev. American Idol experience was there for a decade or so. So they haven't always figured it out as far as attractions go. Same thing is true with Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular, which doesn't make a lot of sense for the park now. But the theming of Echo Lake itself, this kind of staircase, you see it now in the YouTube, hopefully, and you see the wrought iron gate that you think about, like somebody pulling up their bike and going up to their apartment. I always think about movies like Sunset Boulevard, where the guy, he's living in a 4th floor apartment and he's a writer, and the creditors are out to get him, and he's got to go down a stairwell like this and get in his car, and like he hides up in the mansion with the lady. This kind of stuff, like you can still, like if you cruise around Hollywood a little bit, you can still find these kind of stucco buildings and stuff as they once existed. A lot of it's been some of it's been removed and made way for condos and things, but there are still some areas like this that exist. But this really falls into the ethos of Disney MGM Studios, Disney Hollywood Studios, and again, it's part of that foundation of the park that still gives it an identity where now it's not exactly what it once was.
Yeah, I mean the identity of DFS has shifted over and over, and it's sort of like this park that's in constant state of flux. But going back to the originality of what the park used to be and sort of what California used to be. I mean, Matt, the picture just popped up.
Oh, finally, jeez.
It is so beautiful, and I've been. I have a friend who lives in an apartment building that's like this.
Yes.
And those stairs, you can just picture Eddie Valiant walking up those stairs, and like you said, the Sunset Bowl. Who cares what you wear when you're a writer?
I want to say another thing here too, and I think about the difference between the West Coast and its buildings and metro areas and the East Coast, is that the East Coast you have this sort of limited space, and so everything's sort of built up. And on the West Coast, you have things that are sort of built out. And so a lot of your buildings, at least in the 30s and 40s, were all like 2-3-story buildings. Whereas
also, I think there's a earthquake.
Yeah, that's a factor too. And I didn't even think about that. But yeah, if you think about that, so having these stairwells that like go up to your second floor apartment, your second floor flat, like that is a very California-y thing.
Yeah, and I just love. Yeah, it feels, even the stairwells feel like not as high as the ones on the East Coast, and I just love those little cutouts. That cutout there with the statue in it, like that also feels very East Coast. I think it all feels a little bit more leisurely in a way. You know what I'm saying? Like the building feels calmer than like the brick and the all the tin or whatever. Not the tin, but it's just like
it's all the tin. It's all the tin.
They call New York the Tin City.
Yes.
So Matt,
yes.
We're in our top 3.
Yeah.
And this is something that we actually talked about on a show recently, because I went to Disney World.
What?
When I was in Magic Kingdom, I was near
the
and an old woman tried to steal my chair.
When you fought that old woman,
I put my hat down, I put my tray down, and she just saunters up and tries to sit there, and I'm like, I'm right here. And she's like, but my family. And I'm like, I have people coming to see. Move. It's my chair.
I have people. Lady. Okay. Tortuga Tavern. As it meets with Pecos Bill's there, the old Pirate and Parrot restaurant. I'll put
El Pirata y El Perico Restaurante.
Yes. So what you're getting here is this sort of, we talked about like the stucco of the West Coast, but you also have this like stonework and stucco of Mediterranean and Caribbean, and that is definitely found here. I love this idea of Caribbean Plaza because it gives a separate area of Adventureland its own identity that's not exactly the same as the Bazaar and the Island Treehouse and that kind of stuff. So when you walk back and you're finding your seat there by Tortuga Tavern, and you move back against the wall as far as you can away from Pirates of the Caribbean, you have this random staircase, and this is very much influenced or inspired by what was happening in New Orleans Square.
Yeah. I mean, New Orleans Square has a lived-in feel. We talk about the lived-in thing. It has that second floor. The Mardi Gras stuff is often hanging out. There's a hustle and bustle to it, and you sense movement and lived inness up on that second floor. But inside, it's so. This whole area, even though it's indoors, it still feels like the breeze from outdoors. You're wandering into a place, and then there are these like dark stairs that lead up, and like, what's happening up there? Are there pirates and rum runners and just hanging out and making shady deals and drinking pot still rum? I love that stuff so much.
You know what's funny? I went to Disney. I've been to Walt Disney World so many times, just having grown up there as my like staple parks, and going to the Magic Kingdom. I don't really remember noticing these as a kid. That's what's really cool about them is that, it's the same thing we talked about where you sort of enjoy the ambience as an adult. Same thing happened here with the stairwell. I think I was just sitting there one day and I was, wow, I forgot that this was even here, or was this here? Like, it's one of those things that look like it's always been there, and maybe it has. I really don't know.
I think it has always been there, and that's the cool thing is that there's always something new to see there. I have a weird likening. I have a weird simile here. So the E parking lot at Epcot, was it for excitement or enchantment?
I don't know.
It's way off in the distance, and I remember hearing legends about it. And it's just a parking lot; it doesn't mean anything.
What?
But yeah, it's like way up, and they only use it for like high capacity days. And whenever I think of that, I think of this room with the stairs in it, because I always think that that's sort of an overflow room. So instead of looking out onto Adventureland, you're looking inward to the dark underpinnings of Adventureland. It doesn't make sense. It just makes sense in my head.
Oh, wow. That's a long, elaborate explanation. This was a seasonal area for a lot of years. Like, you couldn't get food, and like Pecos Bills is almost always open. But this whole space was like just overflow, and you'd see people like this was like a meeting area. It's never really it's not that, like, I feel like New Orleans Square, like everything was kind of purposeful.
Right.
But this one, this one always felt kind of like an afterthought. But if you go back there and just take it in, you get pictures back there and stuff, like it's a neat space, and it's an open air spot. Like all this,
I love that it's an open air spot.
Yeah,
so
that's another thing like that you don't really think about. Like some of these are covered and some of them are open air, and that was definitely true of this one.
Yeah, so Matt, let's go to the top 2.
Ooh.
Now, number 2 is very similar to some of the ones that we were talking about. In fact, the one that we were talking about at number 6, the Tinseltown Stair Squares. But when California Adventure went through its big change, its growth spurt, and became so awesome, and I know we talk about California Adventure a lot on this show.
Sure.
We love it.
We do love it.
But we do love it so much. But when you go, and there are bathrooms there, and there's lockers and everything, but there are these stairs that lead up from 2 sides, and on the building, on the stucco building, it's painted Sepulveda Building. And one of the big famous Los Angeles streets is Sepulveda Boulevard. I always pronounce it. I used to pronounce it wrong, and now I know how to pronounce it.
Sepulveda?
Yeah, I used to say Sepulveda. It is not that. It's Sepulveda.
Yeah.
But Sepulveda Building, and it's the same thing. It feels so lived in, and it feels like, you're going through the turnstiles, and it feels even more, like alive than at DHS, because you've got the red car trolley there. The stop is right out front. It's right as you walk in. So, and it's not perpendicular. It's like parallel to the main thoroughfare. So it feels, like it's being used more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. This whole is this the one where the lockers are like right inside?
Yeah, exactly.
And like this is like bathrooms. So this is like a play, or this is like a 2.0 version of the ones that we talked about at Hollywood Boulevard or Tinseltown Square, just like you said. But these ones are different because the ones at Disney's Hollywood Studios, the stairwell is way off to the side, as if you couldn't really access it. This one, the stairwell is like right in front of you, but you can't go up there. It looks like someone's apartment, like they live at California Adventure.
Like, every time I go there, I literally think, oh, are they letting us go up there now? No, they're not.
Is there a restaurant up there? What is this?
Well, and it's for perspective. So the top floor is, if you actually went up there, you would probably be higher than the top floor. If you were like 5'9", average like me.
Sure.
I'm so average, man.
You are super average. You're the most average person I know.
10.5 shoe size, all that stuff.
I got this picture. I'm going to put it in the YouTube. I finally found a good version of it. But Kevin, okay, so we talked about like some of these areas feel very layered or like they have a lot of depth. I think this stairwell, more than any of them, has that. Like just this whole building, this whole concept.
It's so great. Everything. I think, Buena Vista Street sort of is Hollywood Boulevard 2.0.
It is.
But, it's hard to explain why I think it's a little bit better. Because, one, they're naming everything after Walt and his family and his life. And so there's that. But it just feels, weirdly enough, smaller, more intimate. Like it's a town. Like this is L.A. right after it stopped being a desert and started being a town, but right before it became a big city.
Yeah, that's such a great point. Yeah, there's so, if you think about like things that Disney maybe could have done better, like I think we could go to a lot of different lands and say that. Toy Story Land, we could say that about Batuu here and there. We could say it about Future World for years, but I don't know that they could have done, especially the fact that this was all like retrofitted. Like, I don't think they could have done Buena Vista Street better than they did it.
Buena Vista Street is, I'm just going to say it, a perfect land. It's a perfect land.
It really is. Think about the restaurant and the trolley, and we did that whole show on Buena Vista Street. I think it was maybe a year ago, or was that 2 years ago? It's been a while, but just thinking about all of the detail and the chronology of the buildings and why that's important, does this kind of Frontierland thing. I don't. Every time someone asks me about California Adventure or whatever, that is just a showstopper, and just to think that that's only 10 years old, it's so cool. Like you'd think it was older.
It feels like my Disney experience. It's so amazing.
It is.
Matt.
Well, Matt.
Number one.
But Matt.
Well, Matt.
Okay, I put this one up in the YouTube, so it's populating here, and it will in just a few seconds. But Kevin, I don't know if you would have picked this as number one.
I might have, because when I was first coming online to the whole Disney Shazam everything, and discovering that there were people who love Disney and that there were people who used to love Disney, and they were all on Twitter. And so one of the very first Twitter meltdowns I ever experienced was with our number one pick, and it was a fascinating thing to watch. Now, I went to Disneyland. I was able to be on these stairs. They're beautiful. They're amazing. I was able to be here for a really long time, and then they shut it off. It's no longer accessible by the hoi polloi, if you will.
Yeah.
It's only accessible by people who are, I was going to say D23 members.
No.
They're all D23 members.
Not them. Club 33 members.
Right, Club 33 members. So if you have a membership to Club 33, if you spend millions of dollars every year to have this membership, you can have special access to the Court of Angels.
I love the Court of Angels. Let's talk about the Court of Angels. So you've got New Orleans Square, and you've got these like little hidden shops and pathways and walkways, and everything's intimate. Everything's charming. You've got those second floor balconies and the wrought iron. You've got the hanging lights and hanging plants. And here you have a stairwell that is so 18th century, 17th century, about 18th century probably, or 19th century, that just embodies everything that I think that New Orleans Square was supposed to be about. And the reason why I say that is because it's not a shop, it's not a ride, it's not a restaurant. It's that some of these other stairwells attempted to be and almost were. This one is, or was, just the full picture of what Disney is trying to capture when they build themed lands. This is it.
The picture's up there in the YouTube thing now, but like you look at it and it's like Matt said, it's quote unquote just theming. There's a fountain over here. There's potted plants. There's that blue iron and the stairs that lead up, and it looks glorious. You have those lights coming off. And you could go up these stairs at least about halfway.
Yes.
And you can pose on these stairs. And I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna say it right now, and I'm gonna be controversial. Much about Instagram walls. Constantly, because that's what the Gen Z loves, and how ridiculous. Those are the same people who are like, I wish we could pose on those those Court of Angel stairs right now. There's theming, but I mean, honestly, it's very similar. But this court existed just to exist.
Yes,
it is theming. It is beauty for beauty's sake, and this is something that goes back to Walt. Sometimes. It's about the experience, and sometimes it's about the show. This is all about the show.
Yeah, and I want to thank our friend Tom Bricker for providing the photo that I put up in the YouTube. And he had a thing back in 2013 that was like Save Court of Angels as it evolved into this Club 33 space. And, for Club 33 members, like, this is a win, right? Like, this is awesome. If you're going to pay for Club 33, like, you want a high-end experience. So it makes sense that they would use, like, one of their best spaces for this. But at the same time, for the Disneyland guest or someone like me who's coming from Missouri, or like you coming all the way from Boston, it is a shame not to be able to experience a space like this. And I just, it's one of the few things I think that I lament that has kind of gone away at Disneyland through the years.
Yeah, I mean, there are definitely things that I wish that I had been able to experience. I was able to experience this, and the fact that it's still there, and the fact that I'm not allowed to go to it, it's a little sad. I mean, they have these.
It's just you. You're the only one.
Art. It's just me, friends. I have to keep 500 feet away from the Court of Angel. No.
That's funny. Sorry.
They have these stained glass doors with Art Deco stuff on it, and I mean, they're pretty doors.
Come on.
But you know what's behind there? It's way prettier.
I know, that's the sad part. It really is. But yeah, I don't. By the way, shout out to Tom Bricker. What a great blogger.
Oh, Tom Bricker.
And great. One time I was.
Someone actually said.
Yeah.
Oh, go on.
Go ahead.
Someone said in the chat that Tom Bricker, Laura said, Tom Bricker, his photos are what got me into the online Disney community.
Yeah.
Way to go, Tom Bricker.
Yeah, seriously. Like, here's a guy who kind of stays off the radar. All of his posts on Disney Tourist blog are insightful and smart. He's a smart guy anyway. But the way that he thinks about Disney and kind of distills down what Disney does is it's very intelligent, and I think it's very fair. And we don't always get that, so it's so nice, I think, to have. Like, it's a benefit to have someone like that in the Disney. I don't really consider myself part of the Disney community, so I don't know why.
You're the most important thing in the Disney community.
I'm the glue. People don't realize, Kev, I'm the glue, just holding it all intact. But at the same time, like, I don't really engage in it, and he doesn't really either, except that, like, he has pretty strong opinions in his blogs. And so, but anyway, the thing I was going to say is that this picture exemplifies what he does. Like, he'll stay after hours in the park and just get these amazing photos of different lands. And one night I was walking through World Showcase, and there he was standing in the UK pavilion, like, getting some amazing photo. And I was like, oh, that's Tom Bricker doing his thing. And so I had to introduce
like seeing a celebrity.
It was like seeing a dog walk on his hind legs. I didn't it was a rarity. You just don't see the guy whose photos you see, right? The photographer is never supposed to be part of the photograph.
Yeah, so I mean, everything about the Court of Angels, everything about all of these staircases to nowhere. I mean, we're calling it stairs to nowhere, but there's something about most of these that's very similar, and that they lead to quote unquote nowhere. But every time you're near them, every time you see them, every time you look up and dream, they are, like everything else in Disney parks, taking you somewhere special.
Yes! That's a normal show. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Well, Kevin, wow, this has been another fun look at different thematics around the Disney theme parks. You know what I liked about Stairs to Nowhere? There were so many parks that showed up on this list. Sometimes it's very heavy in one park, and I think that was kind of true of Hollywood Studios. But then, we had California Adventure, we had Disneyland, we had, the only park that we really didn't see a lot from were Animal Kingdom and Epcot. But I bet the next time I go to Animal Kingdom, I'm going to be kicking myself because I guarantee there's stairs that I just missed.
Oh, yeah. There's someone in the chat right now, RDG510. He's like, what about Pirates? And I'm like, oh, there are stairs to nowhere in Pirates.
Yeah, there are.
That's the thing about these shows, these listories. We basically use listories and the comments from them to overcorrect and make new shows. Basically, what we do is we say, "Oh, we missed that one thing. Let's do a whole show about that one thing."
Yeah, like Tropical Hideaway. We were like, "Oh no!" Or like I have to full disclosure, the Shrinkology show. Like at the end, I was like, I didn't include Cranium Command. Like one of my favorite attractions as a kid. Like I just totally spaced on it.
And the thing is that, the online community has been talking about Buzzy for the last year or two.
Did Buzzy get stolen before we wrap up here?
Buzzy got stolen by a guy who looks so similar to me, it's unfortunate.
What?
I had last year or the year before, I always grow my winter beard, and the guy who stole Buzzy shows up, and he looks like a slightly younger version of me with a full beard. And so I shaved my beard because I didn't want to look like him.
You should start coloring your beard so you don't have to look like him.
I've been coloring my beard since I was 18.
I love the fact that you color your beard. It's awesome. Don't have a Giuliani moment with your.
Oh, it's gonna drip down my chin.
Mid-show. It's a good thing we didn't do video because that may have happened. Okay, well, Kevin, this was a fun experiment, and unfortunately the video didn't work, but I think we achieved at least the audio function on the show.
Yeah, the audio worked, and I just want to thank all the people that helped us out with this. Josh helped.
Oh, yeah.
Tom Bricker with his pictures. Circulate Jeff telling me to mute.
I think I got 17 texts from my friend Wesley. I was like, I don't know how to do all this and respond to these at the same time.
Oh, yeah. Wesley was in the chat. He's like, guys, this is great. This is pre-K stuff.
Okay.
You should really understand this.
I mean, it's not. I don't think it was so much us. It's that we can't hear what's happening on the other side.
Yeah, we don't know. Like, we don't have. Both of our spouses are off, like, really enjoying the time away from us.
Yes.
So they're not gonna listen for us. They're just doing their own things. But yeah. So
I can't wait to go back through this chat because I didn't get to read any of it because I was like in show mode. But that's really exciting. So
the chat's really fun, and
it's like the comment section.
There's at least one commenter who agrees with me that you are the center of the Disney community.
I am not the center of any. I'm Pangea. I hold it all together. Disney Mandarin is still my term, though. I have to trademark that.
You did.
I appreciate that.
So a couple of quick things.
Yes.
So one thing that we forgot to mention because we were so busy at the top of the show, we're actually raising some funds for season 5.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna we've set up a donation button. I'll share this in the chat. In the Twitter. I'll share it in the chat too. But feel free to drop us some money. We basically do this show pro bono every week or more. It costs money to do the show. We're basically paying to do the show. So feel free to take a look at our donation button. And if you click donate, it's going to go to my thing. So in the subject line, just say 3028, so I know where it's supposed to go to. And that's it. Send us iTunes reviews. Chat with us on Twitter, 3028. Take a look at our Instagram, 3028. We have so much fun on this. And Matt, I'm sure you have something to add while I find the link.
Sure, of course. I just wanted to say that I know at one point in this chat there were like 65 viewers, and I know that we have a lot more listeners and viewers, but we appreciate everybody, and just the fact that people would go out of their way, I think, just to be in the chat, or just I DM with people sometimes, or we share pictures with each other on Twitter of Disney stuff, and just it's a really fun experience. I think that one thing that Kevin and I have always tried to do is just keep things very positive. Kevin has his Twitter wars or whatever you do. I don't think you're doing that as bad anymore.
Not anymore. I used to, my friend Joe Jozer talked to me about it, and he's like, and Jeff, they're like, why don't you calm down a little bit? And then I got on Zoloft, and everything's been great.
It doesn't matter. Like, none of those things really matter. Those arguments, they don't go anywhere. They don't solve anything. But we just try to bring fun to the feed. I mean, that's really what we're doing. I mean, that's what this was about too. It was just bringing something different, albeit mildly successful, I think, to the YouTube feed here. And I just want to say thanks to people who took time to jump in here, and whether they listen for 5 minutes or for an hour, we really appreciate it. And we see you. We see that you listen, and we appreciate it. And it does give us fire, believe it or not. I know that sounds weird, but it does give us fire to keep doing this on some level.
Yeah, I mean, whenever we engage with people, whenever we do something like this, it honestly makes us feel better. Matt and I came into this, we were exhausted because this whole season is just exhausting. And I think that we're energized now, and we're feeling our oats. I'm very excited about having this chat. I definitely want to do this again. By the way, we will be doing more merch. So keep an eye out for that, or 2 eyes.
Yeah. And for people who got shirts and paid for the shirts as of Monday, I think I sent out every one of those. So those are all out. And they went through USPS because that was the best rate for shipping, and you know how USPS is going right now. So I'm hoping they get to their destinations. I really am. So keep following up with me, and if you find us on Twitter and Instagram, you can share your shirt, which would be really, really cool. And hopefully you get those and you're able to sport those in the park. Kevin hasn't received his, so I'm a little worried about that.
I'll get mine soon.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about that. I'm the only one who has a shirt as of today.
As soon as I get my shirt, I'm going to take a picture. I'm going to put it up everywhere. You guys are going to love it.
Yes, it'll be great. Okay, well, I think we're going to wrap. I've got to go to Target because it's open till midnight, and that's what I do. Is I go to Target. That's my recreation. So, Kevin, thank you so much, too, for getting together with me on this. This is something we kind of threw together. We wanted to do it. We were a little nervous about it, but I think it's actually gone really well.
Yeah, it has been great. And so, from all of us here, to all of you, literally to all of you out there, thanks for listening, and see you real soon.
Zermatt!
Baby weeds! Play it!
Breakout! Okay, Kevin, have a great night. I'm sure I'll be talking to you in the next hour or two. But everybody else, thank you so much, and we'll talk to you soon, okay? All right. Bye!